Hi, everybody. This is Miss Sarah from the Upper Chichester Library in Upper Chichester, Pennsylvania. Welcome to Books and Babies. We're going to read 3 books together today, and they're all with the permission of Penguin Random House. The first one is called I Don't Want to Be a Frog. It's written by Dev Petty and illustrated by Mike Bolt. We'll start with this flap right here. It says, let me ask you something. If you could be any animal in the world, what would it be? Probably not a frog, right? Exactly. But that's what this frog thinks. Let's see what he ends up wanting to be. I want to be a cat. You can't be a cat. Why not? Because you're a frog. I don't like being a frog. It's too wet. Well, you can't be a cat. I want to be a rabbit. You can't be a rabbit. Why not? Look, I can hop. He's not wrong. Sure, but where are your long ears? Besides, what's wrong with being a frog? I don't like being a frog. It's too slimy. That may be, but you can't be a rabbit. I want to be a pig. You can't be a pig. Why not? Most of all, because you're a frog, but also because you don't have a curly tail or eat garbage. I can eat garbage. Everyone says that until they eat garbage. Sorry, you can't be a pig. I want to be an owl. Of course you want to be an owl. Being an owl is the greatest thing ever. Boy, would you love being an owl. So can I be an owl then? No, of course not. Why not? You don't have wings. You don't look wise. You can't turn your head all the way around. And you are a frog. What's wrong with being a frog anyway? Too much bug eating. I see. But still, no being an owl for you. Uh-oh, who's this? He says, why so glum? I don't want to be a frog. What do you want to be then? Not a frog. I want to be a cat or a rabbit or a pig or an owl. Something cute and warm. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Ooh, he's a big dog. I love eating cats. I love eating rabbits and pigs and owls too. And I am pretty hungry. I might just go gobble some up right now. That's terrible. It's who I am. But guess the one thing I never eat. Badgers? No, I eat badgers. Lots of badgers. Frogs? Bingo. Why don't you eat frogs? Because they're too wet and slimy and full of bugs. Oh, so it's good to be a frog? Yup. I guess you can't fight nature. We are what we are. You are a fierce hunter. And you are a wet, slimy, bug-eating, very lucky frog. You should just be happy you're not a fly. What's wrong with being a fly? Can you tell? That fly gets eaten by the frog. Well, that was cute. All right. Our next story is called We Planted a Tree. This is by Diane Muldrow, the author, illustrated by Bob Stackey. Let's find out the story of We Planted a Tree. This beautiful art. We planted a tree. We planted a tree and it grew up. How tall that tree is. We planted a tree and it grew up while it reached for the sky and the sun. The sunshine went into the leaves and brought food to the tree, and the tree grew up. Fat little buds appeared on the branches. A very good springtime picture there. The sunshine went into the buds and soon they burst open. Everywhere it was pink and we were dizzy with springtime. Isn't that pretty? All the blossoming flowers on the trees. The sun kept shining, the pink blossoms dropped off, but soon there were green leaves. Green, green, shiny leaves, which had food inside for the tree. Green, green, shiny leaves, which cooled us, which kept the earth cool. We planted a tree and it grew up and gave us a shady place. The tree's leaves helped clean the air and we breathed better. We are in a park surrounded by some trees that are cleaning the air. The tree fed us apples and oranges and lemons. Look at all the different kinds of trees. And sap for our syrup. Did you know maple syrup comes from maple trees? Yeah. You put a tap in a bucket and you catch it and boil it till it gets really thick. We planted a tree and it grew up. The tree kept the soil from blowing away. Now rainwater could stay in the earth. The soil became healthier because the tree was there, so we planted. We planted butternut squash and beans, corn and onions and cabbage in the healthy soil, the rich, dark dirt. We could grow our own food and we ate better. All those healthy fruits and vegetables. We planted a tree and it grew up and it dropped acorns that fed the squirrels in winter. And birds came and other animals came too to live with the tree. See the red cardinal up here? We planted a tree and that one tree made the world better. We planted a tree and that one tree helped heal the earth. We planted a tree and it grew up, and so did we. Isn't that a lovely book? All right, we planted a tree. Maybe someday you can plant a tree. All right, our last book for today is called The Bunnies Are Not in Their Beds. And this is by Marissa Bina Russo. Nighttime is here. Little bunnies are tucked in bed. Good night, sleep tight. Mama sits in her chair and Daddy sits in his. All is quiet. But then, click, clack, click, clack. What is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mommy and Daddy Bunny going upstairs to check. And what are they doing? Putting a train track together. Back to bed, little bunnies. No more tracks on the floor. See you in the morning. Good night, sleep tight. All is quiet again. But then chugga, chugga, chugga. What is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. So Mom and Dad Bunny go upstairs again. Oh, wow. Now they've built the track and have a train on it. What are you doing, little bunnies? No more tracks, no more trains, no more mischief tonight. Good night, good night. Sleep tight. All is quiet again. But then, clip, clop, clip, clop. What is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Now they're playing cowboy, cowgirl. What's going on, little bunnies? You are not listening to us. No more tracks, no more trains, no more horses, no more mischief tonight. Good night, good night. Sleep tight. All is quiet again. But then, zoom, zoom, vroom. What's all that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Now what are they doing? They've got race cars. Little bunnies, back to bed before we count to 3. No more tracks, no more trains, no more horses, no more cars, no more mischief. Good night, sleep tight. All is quiet again. But then, boom, 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 honk, squawk, honk, clash, clash, smash. What's all that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. What are they doing? They've got a marching band. Oh boy. There will be no more noise, little bunnies. Not a click or a clack. Not a chug a chug chug. Not a clip or a clop. Not a zoom zoom or a vroom. Not a boom or a honk or a clash or a smash. Not a wiggle, not a giggle, not a sound. Good night, good night, good night. Out go the lights. All is quiet again. Not a sound in the house. But then, tip, tap, tippity, tap. What is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Look, Mama and Daddy are tucked into bed, fast asleep at last. Hooray, whisper the bunnies. We can play all night long. But then, trying to play all night long. Yawn, snuffle, zzz, zzz, zzz. What is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are all fast asleep. Good night, every bunny, big and small. Sweet bunny dreams to one and all. Good night, good night. Sleep tight. The end. All right, if you enjoyed those books, you can come find them at the Upper Chichester Library. Thank you for joining us for Books and Babies. I hope we'll see you again. Bye.